Hi everyone, my name is Yueh-Han Chen and I'm gonna present to you my data science project, Mode Customer Segmentation. This is a most data set from Kaggle and it has customer data such as customer ID, age, gender, annual income, and spending score. The spending score is assigned by the supermarket mall and it's ranging from 1 to 100. The problem statement of this project is I want to increase customer lifetime value by segmenting the customers into several groups with similar characteristics and form growth strategies for each group. There are 6 steps in this analysis process. The first step is I assess the data. In the second step, I pre-process the data. In the third step, I choose the right K and the right clustering model. In the fourth step, I name and plot the clustering results. In the fifth step, I analyze and form growth strategies for each group. In the last step, I summarize all the possible growth strategies. Now let's first look at the first step, assessing data. This dataset has 5 columns, 200 rows, 0 duplicated rows, and 0 missing value, meaning that we don't have to do a lot of cleaning. Now let's look at the distribution among features. This is the age distribution, and this is the annual income distribution, and this is the spending score distribution. Age and annual income are slightly skewed to the right, but they are not too strong, so I didn't do normalization here. The spending score is nearly normally distributed. For the scatter plot, there is no clear correlation between features, so let's look at the correlation heat map in the next slide to further investigate the correlation score. Now, we can see the correlation heat map. There is no strong correlation between most of the features, except age and spending score has a correlation score of negative 0.33. This is the strongest, but they are negatively correlated. Let's look at the step 2, pre-processing. The first thing I do is I drop gender because gender is a categorical feature and k-means only accept continuous feature. The second thing I do is I standardize the data. So every feature has the similar scale. In step 3, I choose the right K and the right model by using elbow method and calculating the silhouette score. In the elbow method, I created a plot of the number of clusters on the x-axis versus the sum of square distance of the cluster center to each point on the y-axis, and the sum of the square distance will always decrease with each additional cluster center. And with fewer clusters, this decrease will be more substantial. And at some point, adding new clusters will no longer create a substantial decrease in the sum of distance. These points are known as the elbows. And as you can see, this data set doesn't have a clear elbow. So k equals 4 to 6 might be good ideas. But we want a more precise k. So let's look at the next method called silhouette score. To get silhouette score, we will compute the average distance between a point and all the other data points in the same cluster. Let's say it's A. And the average distance between the data point and all other data points in the closest cluster. Let's say this is B. So we will compute the silhouette score by B minus A over max of A or B. So if A is bigger, then we will use A and vice versa. And the final value will be between -1 to 1. The higher the silhouette score is, the better the K is. Here, I want to do something more interesting because silhouette score not only can be used to select the right K, but it can also be used to choose the right model that performs the best. So I created these line charts to see k-means, hierarchical clustering, and GNNs performing on this data set. And the reason why I didn't use dbScan is because silhouette score doesn't have the concept of noise. So even though dbScan performs well on this data set, it may still get a low silhouette score. So that's why I didn't use dbScan. From this chart, we can see that k-means performs the best when k equals 6. Therefore, we concluded that we will be using k-means with k equals 6. Now, after I ran the k-means with k equals 6, I grouped the results by the k-means label. These k-means label are assigned by the k-means and they don't have any meaning. So as a data scientist, I need to assign new names to each one of them. Also, the table like this isn't easily to see the characteristic of each group. Therefore, I created the radar charts for each one of them for later analysis. These 6 radar charts are the original 6 groups with the new names. And the way I name them is by their characteristics. As you can see, the first group is called high income, high spending young age group. They have relatively high median annual income and they have high average spending score and they are in a relatively young age. So that's how I named each one of them. In the step 5, I will be analyzing and forming growth strategies for them. So I'll be working you through each one of them one by one. In step 5, I analyze and form growth strategies. Before I do that, I first list all the common growth tactics to increase customer lifetime value that can be applied to a mall business. The first one is new customer program. And the idea of new customer program is that we want the customer to experience the core value of our product or our business as soon as possible. And the second one is loyalty program. The purpose of loyalty program is to keep the customer loyal as long as possible. The third one is to upsell or recommend new or high pricing brands to the current loyal customers so that we can increase customer lifetime value. The fourth one is referral program. And the idea of referral program is that we incentivize them to refer their friends to our mall. And the last one is incentive program for winning back lost customers. Let's look at the group 1. This group consists of rich and high spending customers. As they are at a very young age, their income can increase even more in the future. So keeping them loyal would be the main strategy. So here in possible growth strategies, I list the first strategy is loyalty program. For the second one, upselling. As they have the ability to spend money, we can also try to sell more high-end brands or new products that they don't know they need so that we can increase their lifetime value. And lastly, I list the referral program. Since they had spent a lot on our mall, I assume they really enjoy their shopping experience at our mall. So asking them to refer their friends to our mall might be a good idea. Besides, their friends might be also rich and high spending. Let's look at the group 2. This group consists of the customers with low income but have spent a lot on us, and they are the youngest among all groups. The possible growth strategies for this group is referral program and loyalty program. The main strategy for this group is a referral program, and there are 3 reasons for this. First, we can tell they really love our mall as they are low income but spend a lot on us. Second, they might value discounts more than other groups given their financial situation. And third, they are at a young age, meaning that they are more likely to share things on social media or invite their friends to a product. And for the second growth strategy, I recommend them all to do a loyalty program because they are high spending. So keep them loyal is also a good strategy. Now let's look at the group 3. This group consists of relatively old customers with middle income and mid spending record. And the possible growth strategy for this group is loyalty program. Given the limited amount of information, I assume they are long-time customers already. So their purchasing behaviors won't be changed that much in the future. So keeping them loyal is also the main strategy for this group. Now let's look at the group 4. This group is similar to group 3, except the average age is way younger and the female customers are more, accounting for 63% of the customers in this group. And the main strategy is also a loyalty program, but with a focus on female product. Let's look at group 5. This group is the least desirable group as they are low spending and low income. So I don't recommend any growth strategy for this group, but it is definitely worth investigating why they spend so little. Is it because they are low income? or they are staying single, or we face new competitors that we don't know, or other reasons. Let's look at the final group. Group 6 is a high income but a low spending group with a male ratio of 58%. My three guesses of why they spend so little while they earn so much is that one, they are just new customers, or two, they are lost customers, they are ready to churn, or three, they mostly shop at a more high-end mall. So the true reason is worth further investigation. So here I list the three possible growth strategies for this group. The first one is if they are really new customer, then we can do new customer program for them. And if they are lost customers, then we can create incentive program for winning them back. And if they normally shop at a more high-end mall, then we can recommend them higher pricing products, so they are more likely to purchase at our mall. Finally, I summarize all the growth strategies for each group. For loyalty program, I recommend the mall target group 1, 2, and 3. For referral program, I recommend the mall target group 1 and 2. For upselling products, I recommend the mall target group 1 and 6. For a new customer or lost customer program, I recommend the mall target group 6. All right, thank you for spending your time listening to my presentation. I hope you have a good day.